Hello everybody. Thank you so much for your really kind responses to my first video in the TLDR addiction series. It looks like I'll keep going and we'll see where this goes. I really have a passion for getting the word out there about the science behind this and really trying to help improve the community around addiction. So I'm glad these are helpful. So I'm joining you today on a very sunny day in Peoria, Illinois, where I just finished a speaking engagement, and I was just feeling inspired to talk about something that comes up a lot, and that's how do you know if someone has a problem, or how do you help them figure that out? Because there are very specific scientific ways to do it, like with the DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, with all these 13 different criteria which matter, but in many cases you need to boil it down to something a little bit easier to talk to people about and to help them to understand, because you definitely cannot tell someone they have a problem and for them to take your word for it. They've got to come to that conclusion on their own. And so there's a couple things you can do to help them along that path. The three aspects to this I'd like to stress are control over their use, consequences related to their use, and the quantity that's consumed. So let's start with the first one, control. Generally, if an addiction is a problem, your ability to control it is diminished. So what that could look like is, say you're working with someone or you're talking to someone who says, oh no, I can stop this whenever I want, it's not a problem, I can do it. Well, a helpful response is, okay, well let's set a goal then. Let's try to stop for 2 weeks. Let's try to stop for a month, usually like an extended period of time. See how that goes. Or if someone wants to go down more slowly, it could be kind of like, let's set a goal for this week, a consumption goal. See if you can meet it. If they can't, that speaks volumes about who's in control, the substance or the person. The second one, in terms of consequences, has to do with, are things going wrong in someone's life, and are they continuing to use anyway? So this could be like a social consequence, like a wife or a husband or a child who's started to get really upset about use. These could be legal consequences, these could be physical consequences, things that are going on, but someone is basically saying with their behavior, I care more about the drug than I do about these consequences. I care more about getting intoxicated or escaping with this substance than I do about the consequences. That could be a big warning sign, and helping people connect those dots can be very helpful. And lastly, in terms of quantity, although quantity isn't necessarily the best way to determine if someone has a problem, it can be a useful indicator. So for example, like if someone is drinking like a 24-pack a day, if they're drinking a handle of liquor, that's a sign, right? That's a clearly larger than typical amount. And any use of illegal substances can also fit under this category of quantity, because that puts them at risk of legal problems, of other issues, of potentially vocational problems, losing their job, just because they're doing it. So looking at quantity is another critical part of this, and so you link that together: control, consequences, and quality, and that's a really easy rule of thumb way to determine if someone's having a problem. So this has been TLDR on how do you know if it's a problem. I'll look forward to talking to you guys again soon.